Hey, what's up and welcome. It's the Crypto Coach, Blockchain Wayne. This video is going to be kind of an add-on to the initial Uniswap tutorial on how to use Uniswap. Now, Uniswap has become the hottest, if not one of the hottest, if not the hottest, decentralized exchanges out there. It's got a lot of hype, a lot of attention, a lot of people are utilizing it. There's still some pitfalls that need to be avoided because it is a decentralized exchange. You make a mistake, you can't contact customer service and say, hey, I need to fix this. You own it, it's yours, you have to take care of it. So also, anyone can create a token, right? Anyone. It doesn't have to be a legitimate project. I can even name it close enough to where you may mess up and buy the wrong token. So it's very important to make sure, if you're going to use Uniswap, make sure you're buying the right tokens, make sure you're using the right protocol. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to make sure you don't make this mistake that you see here. So if you look at what I've got here, popping up on the screen, this is a screenshot of Unicorn, which is similar to the Uniswap token, which was launched just recently at the time of this recording. The Uniswap token was launched, was airdropped to anybody that had used Uniswap prior to September 1st. And so a lot of people claimed it, and the token rapidly increased in price. Many of them, including myself, were able to cash out at well over a couple $1,000s worth of crypto that was just given to us in an airdrop. The only cost was the actual gas fee to claim it and whatever the fees were to sell it, which was very minimal compared to what was given. But what happened was a lot of people started buying Unicorn coin, which is another ERC20 token, Ethereum-based token that is available in Uniswap. So that one wasn't necessarily created as a scam, but people were buying the wrong token, thinking that they were buying the Uniswap token, and they were getting the wrong one. We saw the price shoot up on that one, but then drastically decrease, as you see here, based on what I just showed you. So let's take a look. This is Uniswap on the desktop. Now, I also use it on the Trust Wallet on my phone. Very similar use case. Just on your phone, you would need a wallet that has a Web3 based browser, which would be Trust Wallet, and from what I hear, MetaMask Wallet on the mobile are the best ones to use. I personally have been using Trust Wallet for a long time, so that's the one I stick with. But on here, you see I'm on my desktop. One thing you want to make sure, look up in this top right corner, you'll see that I have MetaMask already attached to it. I have multiple MetaMask wallets, so the one I want to use for the demo is attached to here, and I can go ahead and launch the app. So from uniswap.org, first of all, let's start with just that. Right, because recently there was a lot of fake Uniswap websites out there, and as new decentralized exchanges emerge as well, like SushiSwap and other ones, you're going to see fake ones that are going to be created to trick you into linking your wallet to that one instead of the legitimate one. So let's go on over. So you go to I go to CoinGecko.com, and if I type in Uniswap, of course, now it's going to take me to the token, but you see the page here is as you see there. So if I go to exchanges, I can select decentralized exchanges, and Uniswap is the first one. So I click on there, and this is just going to ensure that I go to the right Uniswap. So it takes me to the page here. Again, just like I pulled up before, now that they have a token, it comes up here, and I can go to uniswap.org, which is what I'm on. When you Googled it, there was a bunch of fake ones that may have been spelled the same, used a different before or after character, or it used a special character on top of one of the letters. Those are phishing sites. So make sure you go into a legitimate site. When in doubt, don't Google it, because some of these scammers will use paid advertising to get their fake results on top of the actual legitimate results, especially when you're dealing with decentralized exchanges. They're not paying for any kind of advertising, so they're not going to come up first, so it's easy to boost past it. So make sure you're using the right one. So as you see here on CoinGecko, I was able to pull up and go to decentralized exchanges. You got Uniswap, JustSwap, Curve. So if you want to make sure you're going to the right ones, you can use these as well, just to make sure what you're doing. Now, as you see, Uniswap is kind of the king right now. So from Uniswap, I'm going to go in and I'm going to launch the app. So in the top right, I hit launch here. And it's going to automatically link to the current wallet that I have connected. As you can see here, you see the address for this one. This is just a demo one that I use. Now, if you haven't already claimed your tokens, if you haven't seen that video that I created, it's very simple. I'm not going to go through all the steps here, but you click on the three dots. On the mobile phone, it's going to be in the bottom right corner, and click Claim Uni, and then you're going to paste your Ethereum wallet address there. That's about as simple. So what you want to do is you can scroll through and select a token by selecting, select the list, and then I can go off of a list here to select, or I can search for it. But if I search for Uni, it may not, well, it's probably going to come up here. See, it's not going to come up there. So I can search. See, nothing's coming up. So I can browse list here, and it's going to go through. And these are ones that have been kind of verified. You could see Uniswap is here. So that's one way to select a token of what you're trying to get. But let's go back to Uniswap interface and to show you how I do it. So going back to CoinGecko. Now you can do this on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap. I'm looking at DeFi coins, but any ERC20 token can be traded on Uniswap. So that's what I'm going to go here. I'm just going to pick one kind of towards the bottom of the list just to show you what I'm talking about. So let's say Oikos, right? Say I want to buy that one. I want to make sure I'm buying the right one. Actually, that one's on Tron, so I'm not going to do Etherscan. Let's see. All right, so hedge it. Let's do hedge it. I see what this one is. Say, for some reason, I think this is going to go up. Performance hasn't been that great, but maybe I know something's coming. Whatever the case may be, it's still important to do your research and make sure you're looking at, research involves looking at their site, looking at the development teams. How open are they, right? A project may not be open about who their development team is, but if they're not, they better be wide open as far as what's on their GitHub. Is everything open source? What kind of protocol do they have to decentralize the token? And then also look at their presence on Twitter, Telegram, and whatever other community links they'll give you. But this is it here. So I'm looking to buy this one. I'm not going to show you how to research it. That's in another video. But I want to make sure I buy the right one. So I go to etherscan.io. I click on the block explorer, and it takes me to the contract address for that particular crypto to make sure I am buying the right one. So then I come up here and I can copy the address to my clipboard. And now when I go back to Uniswap, I can just paste that into here, and it's going to show it here. So I can just click it for this one transaction. Now, if I want to add it to my personal list, I'm going to click add, and I can do that. So I'll, file. So, and I can put, now this is what I'm trying to sell. I don't have any, so I really wouldn't do that. I would probably say I'm trying to use my Ethereum to buy hedge it. And it makes sure I get the right one. It's very important that you make sure you're selecting the right one. I don't have a lot of ETH in here, so I'm probably not even, not even going to try to do much. See, I could swap it if I wanted to, but I would pay swap. And it's also, then it's going to have me pay a gas fee. Gas fee, many people might think right now with the amount of traffic on the Ethereum network that gas fees are very high. You could pay $10, $15, $20 for gas fees, but it's all about the congestion on the network. So if you want to be bumped to the top of that list, most wallets or smart wallets, they're going to suggest what you should put the gas fee to make sure your transaction goes through and doesn't just stay there forever, because it's got to be a priority. So that's part of decentralization. There are plans in place to try to speed this up. But right now, that's what you're dealing with decentralized exchanges. So I can swap on here. Also, Uniswap also gives you the option to pull up charts, to vote. But it's very important that you make sure that you get the right cryptocurrency, so the right one. So you typically will go there. One of the other things you can do, let me go back to the contract address here, and let's look at, all right, so this is the Hedge It token. When you pull it up from the token page, you can see here the contract address is right there, and I could copy that as well if I wanted to. But what I want to see is how many holders are there. So there's currently 1,815 addresses holding this cryptocurrency. It's not a whole lot in the scheme of things, but when I click on holders right here, I can also see that, it's distributed among several ones. So, 12%, 10%. This is what percentage of the total tokens is each wallet hold. So that's an exchange. That's an exchange. That's an exchange. Uniswap, right? So BitMax3, that's another liquidity pool within an exchange. So this one's very well spread out. Some of the ones that I look up, and you can see here, some of the ones that I look up sometimes will have 99% of the tokens being held by one address. Now, unless that project's just launching right then and there, there's got to be a plan to send that out. Even Uniswap itself has a distribution plan to make sure that liquidity pool is not centralized. So it's very important to understand that when using Uniswap. And there's the other decentralized exchanges. If you're trading Tron-based tokens, it could be on JustSwap. There's multiple different exchanges that you can use, but they're all very similar in use as far as how it works, right? So if I'm looking to trade ETH to hedge it, I can view pair analytics on it. It's going to tell me kind of what's happening with it. You can see here, token safety alert. It just always warns you that anyone can create and name a token, and I can name it something similar to something that's already out there. So they always will give you that warning. I can see that the liquidity, not much on this when you're talking about Uniswap. And then some of the past transactions that have happened for that token. And then also this is showing liquidity. If I wanted to look at price versus Ethereum, I can see this is the price here actually. So it's going down over time. That's over the 1 week, over the 1 month. That shows you where it is. So probably not something you want to get into unless you got some inside advice. I mean, insight onto it. So that one, let's see. That's really, as you can see there, it's not that great. So using Uniswap can be great to get some tokens, especially now. Many projects are trying to avoid paying the high listing fees to go on Binance, to go even on exchanges like KuCoin and others, and Coinbase just has a rigorous protocol to get listed on there. So unless there's a lot of community behind a project, it's very hard without money to get listed. Anybody can list a project on Uniswap on their exchange, especially an Ethereum-based token. So you want to make sure that you're getting the right token. So that's why it's very important to use websites like CoinGecko. CoinMarketCap's very similar, but any project you look up on CoinGecko, even Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, I mean, it's going to take you to the main page. I mean, we all know Chainlink is legit, but to make sure you're buying the right Chainlink, if you're going to buy it on Uniswap, you want to go to Etherscan.io and you want to copy this contract address here. As you can see here, I copy it here. Now that's not a great example because you can find Chainlink on there. Or let's see. You can find it by going through this way, but I am just showing you kind of what it is, and I can just paste that contract address, and then it'll tell me that's link. I found it by the address, and I can add it to my list. So I click the add. So now it's going to always be on my drop-down list. As you can see now, link has been added by me. So that is an option there of what I could possibly do to make sure I'm getting the right cryptocurrency. Now, like I said, go back into how to research a coin, research a token, just to make sure you're getting into a legit project. I tell people all the time, even legitimate projects can fail. So even that one I looked at a second ago and it showed just the steep decline in price could be a legitimate project and could recover. But based on what we see here, we don't know that. But I'm just mainly showing you when you've made the decision to purchase and you see that it's on Uniswap. For me, in some cases, it's okay, this token that I want is on certain exchanges, but those exchanges may not be available in the country I'm in. So I can go to Uniswap if it's an Ethereum-based token and I can buy it. So there's a lot that's happening in the DeFi space. A lot of projects are launching. Some of them may not be that great. So you want to make sure you look at that. And like I said, also look at the distribution of the token list on Etherscan. So if you look at Chainlink and you look at holders, I'll show you this here when it comes up. Now, 35% of all Chainlink is held by this wallet address. Now, it doesn't really specify who that is, but even that is not too bad because then we look at the list, it kind of goes pretty much. It shows you 233,000 addresses hold link. Now, of course, they $10 billion market cap. They're right about $10 in price. Peaked out at 20. So that's it's a legitimate project. It's got good distribution. But if I'm looking at a very little known token, I want to look at what's the distribution list like. And you can even change it to a chart if you want to. I can see token holders chart, and that's going to show me this one wallet address has 35%. Other accounts count for 16, and then it just really breaks down the pie. Now, if I could find one, of course, these are your top tokens, so these are going to have good distribution of them. But I'm going to go to the last page here, and I'll click on, say, engagement token. 4,000 addresses, not too bad. I'll look at holders, and 58% is held by one address. And then 5% in exchange, 3.9% in another exchange. So there's some centralization here. I don't know the history of this project. If they've been around a while and that's a distribution list, then it's not really that great. You also want to find out if there's any stipulations on the wallet. Typically, projects that have been vetted, at least looked into by Etherscan, you have a link to their Reddit, a link to email them, their Facebook, their Twitter, their Bitcoin Talk, their Telegram, white paper, coin market cap, so you can see some of the info on it about the project. So make sure you're buying the right tokens on Uniswap. Don't buy the wrong ones, just like you saw up in the screen. I'm going to pull it up again just to show you what happened with this unicorn token. People were buying the wrong token, and that was an honest mistake, because that token had been around. It just was kind of a dead project that got a bunch of volume when people thought they were buying Uniswap. But it happens every day where you see a project catching on, and then someone will name another token, either the same name or something very similar, but it's the wrong contract address, and people will buy that up thinking they're buying the right one, and they're actually buying the wrong one. So protect yourself. Uniswap, I think it's here to stay. We're going to see a lot more development, and these decentralized exchanges are going to get easier to use. But as they get easier to use, the options to jump on these hidden gems can be less and less. So make sure you're doing your research. Make sure you're understanding how to do it and testing it out to see if how it is to utilize that platform. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.